Hey everybody, it is Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I have these. Now I got 9 or 10 of these for $1. I gave some to one of my sons. Plastic party favor skulls that are pretty terrible from the Dollar Tree, but I don't care if they're pretty terrible. I got an idea for them. You get a glue stick going. Okay, sweet. So what I want to do is I have a piece of one of those interlocking floor mats, and I want to turn this into the base of what I'm creating. Okay, I think that'll be nice for what I want. And then I want to have a little bit of a kind of step up going into it. So I'm just going to cut into it some. Make myself a little step. See how that's a little bit of rough and rugged there? Just going to get a lighter or a minor burning hand spell, I guess. Kind of deal with that. See if a miniature fits in there since I eyeballed it. It does. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to mount these to different degrees around here. But I want them all to be, you know, a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them. Alright, that's not going to work the way I want. Let me get scissors. See if I can cut with scissors. Okay. Fill them back up. Get them back into shape. And I want to kind of get all 5 of them on here at different heights. Let me get a better pair of scissors that's like got a rougher cutting edge. Oh, my spleen. Alright. Maybe these are a little bigger than I needed actually, now that I'm looking at them. A little bit too big for what I want to do. Alright. So I'm going to go outwards. I'll push those down into the rubber. Let it kind of settle. Come on, you bastard. Cut. Ah, stuck right to me. Okay. Something like that. Get 2 more of those on there. I'm going to have these ones just kind of standing up how they go. So that'll be an easier glue job. These front facing ones. Okay. Something like that. Then to make sure nothing moves from where I have it, I'm going to come in here, kind of go around the bases a little bit. Okay. And that'll sturdy them up pretty good. Just like that. Okay. Now I need some jutting out, kind of protruding stuff to make this look menacing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some skewers, which are an obvious choice for this kind of project. I'm just going to shove them down into the rubber. Okay. Just like that. Nothing too fancy. Not killing myself in the process if I can help it. Okay. Something like that. And maybe I want some smaller ones, so I'll just use some regular toothpicks for that. I have D&D in like less than 2 hours, by the way. Well, we don't play D&D anymore. We play Tomorrow Comes Doom, but same concept. We have our RPG night starting in less than 2 hours. So we want to make sure we have this good and done. Why does my glue gun keep flopping over? Okay. And we probably could use 2 along the back there, just to keep this looking like congruous in some form. All right. So now we have kind of our gruesome, dismal shape that we want to use. And I need a platform up here, okay? So for my platform, to keep life simple, I'm going to just take some pieces of this. And find a way that it's going to sit on there and be kind of flat. And have a good strong bond. Close in length. Okay. Something like that. And I'm just going to grab some, what do you call them? Popsicle sticks to make my platform. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to cut those at different lengths. And I'm just going to make them a little more interesting by chopping them up a little bit. Making each one have a unique kind of I'm going to start in the middle. Just like that. And I'm just gonna get my platform put together the best I can real quick. Just like I said, my game night starts in a little bit here, so. Nothing wrong with taking your time and being careful. When you're doing stuff like this. I just happened to be in kind of a hurry because I had to work, and I kind of wanted something like this for my game night tonight. Oops. Okay. I need one more piece for over there. Now, it would be smart to have a railing up here, not because I care about it looking safe, but because I'm worried about miniatures that might get hurt in the process of being up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manufacture a platform for here. Something like that. Okay. Okay. Something like that. And then you got to figure they got to get up there somehow. So I'm going to make a ladder that requires a climb or athletics check to use. Okay, that's coming loose. I need to get that to stay. Okay. rid of some of that spider web best we can real quick without putting a whole lot of heart into it. We can leave that texture on the base if we like it, or if we hate it we can get rid of it. I think one of the best things to do in this situation, since I have very limited time, is to try to leave some of that base and not be devastated by what it does. So, why is my foot wet? Let me find out my foot's wet. Am I leaking something? Let's create some debris. Just to make things a little scarier. I'm just cutting up some cardstock. This is some dirty cardstock that was on the floor. Alright. So with this, I'm just going to curve these a little bit. And stick them around. And pop them up a tiny bit in different areas, and that's going to break up the perfection of that pattern somewhat. Okay, and you can mush these around a little bit and kind of get like a better grip where you need to, and then pull them up how you want, and that's just going to break this up and make it look less perfect. It's going to give us a good mounting structure for the new textures that are being added of the more surface you have connected with glue, the sturdier your end product's going to be. Okay. Something like that. And I did want a railing up there, but I think I'm going to satisfy myself and not have a railing by just making some jaggedy parts. That kind of work as a railing generically. Anyway, it doesn't look like a railing, but it keeps my minis from popping off or falling or getting hurt in any way, you know? And I'm not going to have them on the front, but there is going to be a undead caster up here. His purpose is to be annoying and make somebody have to make a run for it to get up there to stop him, because he's going to have a shield that makes him immune to incoming magic. It's going to be super annoying. Now this could work for like 40K or any kind of tabletop skirmish game. You could use this as like a defensive structure or something if you needed to. I don't know if we really need to classify it as such for what I'm doing, but it could be that. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to just kind of drag some stuff up here to make it look a little more hellish. I'm just creating some weird, like my texture drags in weird forms. You probably don't need that step, but it's going to make the product a little sturdier in the end for sure. I'm just going to hide some of this quick and hasty and poor construction. Alright, so then I'm going to kind of come up onto my spikes a little bit with the same kind of weird gooey. And that's just going to make them a little sturdier. You can see I'm not putting an enormous amount of effort into this or trying to do it evenly in any kind of way. I'm going to fill in some gaps here real quick. Alright then, so this is easy to paint. I'm just going to throw this on here like that. I'm going to pop this bad boy on there, just like that. Oh, hell and damn. Let that dry for a minute before I move it around. We'll get this, just get some of these spider webs dealt with real quick then, because we have more now. I wish I had one of my blow torches, because I am worried about these skulls not taking paint very well. There's a couple things you can do about that though. One, you can kind of hit them with a lighter. It won't be as good as the blowtorch lighter at all, but okay. I'm gonna spray paint this. I'm gonna spray paint it black, like black bomb it real quick, and then we'll paint it and be ready to go. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, something like that. It's going to have some neat, easy textures from just that little bit of time we spent playing with it. Let's move all our crap out of the way so we can get started on our paint job. If I were you, you don't have time to let it dry, do what I'm doing here and utilize our friend, the +5 hot air gun with burning, just to kind of get and then we want this to start out looking kind of sickly. So we're going to get a dark brown. A big brush that has good coverage. It doesn't have to have great coverage, but it has to have coverage of some sort. I mean, look what I got. Hell, I got nothing. Can't find anything. We're going to use this brush. This is like a super cheapy brush I got from Dollar Tree. So brown paint, water, and then we want to do a half-ass coverage. My paint's not completely dry, but my spray paint, but I'm not sweating it. Okay. And I'm not focusing on doing a perfect job of painting. I'm just focusing on creating some different levels and some different looks. So you're going to see some black in here and some spots that I missed, and that's okay. Okay, I think that's kind of what we wanted there. Now, before I hit this with the air gun or do anything too spectacular from this point, I'm going to get a different color to mix in with here, and I'm going to get like a light green. This is called Kiwi. I'm just going to mix that in with my brown real quick. And create kind of a sickly color. And any spots I missed that I feel like I want to pay attention to a little bit, I'm going to come in there with that. Try to darken those up and just create some variation around. Not killing myself here, just making it look a little different, that's all. Something like that. Cool. Now I'm going to throw that brush in the water for a minute. Let's hit this with a hot air gun. Alright, good enough for now. Now we're going to take that same thing we just had there and I'm going to add a light color to it. I'm adding off-white, this antique white to it. I'm going to knock some of that water out of my brush and make a new disgusting color. Something like that, maybe. Then I'm trying only to hit some of the skull stuff. And anything that I touch that's around it, really. Okay. I'm going to touch my spikes a little bit with it, but not too much. So maybe people could think they're some kind of sharpened bone, or maybe they won't. Whatever they want to think. I don't care, really. With how fast we're making this, and we don't have dry time to play with, I feel like our backs are against the wall, and we just got to get a product out there. Okay. Something like that should suffice to sell that these are a different material than the rest of it, and I'm done with this piece for now. Air gun it real quick. goodness undead horrors could have provided skulls like that, you gotta wonder. I'm getting a makeup brush from the Dollar Tree. Something like this. I'm gonna get that off-white color I just used. I'm gonna get my brush dabbed up in that, like this. I'm gonna get a lot of that off. I'm gonna hit him around the way a little bit. I'm not killing myself. And if I grab any spots that aren't dry, it's okay. I'm just going to use those and bring it around and continue doing my kind of generic color scheme and pick up any detail I can find just to create variation and make it look a little more interesting. Okay. If you want blood on yours, come back and hit some of that, some of those glue globs and stuff with a little bit of glossy red or red and then Mod Podge on it, like gloss Mod Podge, and that might look pretty cool. But I'm not into that. That's not what I'm going for. So we notice that it's pretty dry now. I've hit into a lot of the wet spots with this brush. And now I'm getting where I'm not really picking up moisture anywhere, okay? So what I want to do is I want to get a yellow color, like an off yellow. This is a whitish yellow called Ivory. I don't need a whole lot of that, just a tiny bit. Okay. Just want to make it look a little more sickly. And look, my wife is screaming like a moron. Hope you guys don't hear her. That's what she do. Okay, done with that brush. One more thing I want to do. I want to get a green. I want to get a green. I'm going to put some out on my cardboard, like that. I'm going to get a smaller brush. Something that's crappy and wet. I'm going to get some of this green. I'm going to get in here. I'm hitting some of my glue globs with green. Again, you could use red, like a red and a gloss, or a glossy red if you wanted to make yours and your goo into blood. That's not what I wanted with my goo. Not what I wanted at all. I wanted my goo to be some kind of moss that's growing in the decay. Anything that's wet that you're grabbing down in there with it, just let it change colors as you paint it, and don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. A little bit of variation is interesting and good. Okay. And we want to get up on here on some of this. Doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to get it all. We just want it to be gross. Because the more contrast and interest you have, even on a quick project like this that I'm trying to keep under 45 minutes, can end up being pretty great on your tabletop. Any weird dark spots I don't like in the back now, I'm just reaching there with this tiny brush and putting green there to cover it up. Just like this. And that'll get rid of any need for transitions that I missed. Just with this wet brush. Just like that. That'll cover up anything too brutal or horrible. Okay. I'm going to use the rest I have and just kind of put some green back in there where there's not a lot of color. Get my water. Something like that. Air gun. One thing I was just thinking would look cool. I'm going to get a small brush and a little bit of metallic. I'm just going to use this copper metallic I have right here. And on some of these metal things, I'm just going to, maybe they're metal, maybe they're not, but I'm just going to give them a little bit of a metallic bling along the edges. Nothing too spectacular. I'm not putting too much effort into it. Just picking whatever side's most exposed. That's all I'm doing there. I'm going to give it a little bit of clear glue here. And a crappy brush. And I'm going to get in here. You got a tray. I got some dillweed. That's going to make it smell nice. And that's going to hide some of that texture, that unwanted texture. Some of it. It's not going to be perfect. But like I said, I'm trying to keep this under 45 minutes. I think we got about 5 or 6 minutes left. I'll tell you how long we have left. 6.5 minutes left. Okay. So we're going to utilize this dillweed. Okay. Oh, hell. All right, that's not the way to go. If you only have so much craft time, keep in mind that you might want to consider your cleanup as part of the time you have. Okay. Dillweed restored. Level up assured. All right, what do we got here? Once this dries, you hit it with a clear coat. It should be relatively interesting, but for it to be an ancient necromancer's like his platform that he summons to do his magic or anything like that would be super cool. If you have any of that vine crap, like that Spanish moss stuff, that'd be really neat on this. Do I have something down here? Yeah. How much time do I have? Okay, we got a minute here. Let's get some more clear glue. But what's important is that you're selling that not only does this dude have like his special, this is how where I cast my magic crap going on. Fly just got on me. But you want to give your party the opportunity to think that there may have once been creatures so big. If you were here when I was doing the giant buried skulls, this is just reinforcing that there are creatures that existed that are far bigger than we are. That is important for them to keep wondering, because as I'm building towards the storyline here, I want them to find out that they were not the first beings to occupy this world. Not by a long shot. Ancient races of titans existed long before these idiots did. You don't need a bunch of this, truthfully. A little bit makes it look pretty viney and overgrown. What's important is that you have enough contact space with glue that it stays and doesn't come off. And we'll put a little bit up top here too for the hell of it. Even though it doesn't need it at all. Get it pushed up against there so it dries. Then I'll air gun this, or sorry, not air gun this. I'll spray this with clear coat and then take it up whenever the air's off and doesn't stink anymore. So there's my sick ass Necromancer altar. I had to go update my tier 3 talent lists for my game because some people might hit tier 3. I got about 2 minutes to spare. So let me just give you a quick rundown on things. My name is Chris, and everybody calls me Doom, like when I play video games and some of the groups I'm in and some of my old army buddies and stuff. I'm just a regular dude. I live in a house. I got a wife. I got kids. I got everything you need. Got dogs, job. I got it all. But I don't like spending $1 million to have a nice tabletop. So if you enjoyed this project and other projects like this, check out my repertoire of videos. I got an enormous catalog. I did the entire 3.5 monster manual and many, many other things from sci-fi to western to fantasy. So do me a favor, give me a fair shot. Check that shit out. See if you enjoy some of it. This is how big a mini is on it. It's about what I want it to be. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a message, and all the happy crappy that helps the channel's success. See you next time.